Good morning, welcome all of you. So, on this discussion for Savitri summarization, today we are going to take the beautiful topic, and the caption will be "A touch can alter the fixed front of fate." A touch can alter the fixed front of fate, that is taken from Book 2, Canto 10, Kingdoms and the Godheads of the Little Mind. So, this is the topic of discussion we are going to focus upon in this session of this summarization, Savitri summarization. Beautiful topic, beautiful canto we are going to take upon, and of course focus upon right now. Book 2, Canto 10, The Kingdoms and the Godheads of the Little Mind. From life we are little bit inching forwards towards the next step, that is on mind, little mind, of course. So let us quote four lines from Savitri, on which we are really focusing upon. Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully: "A touch can alter the fixed front of fate. A touch can alter the fixed front of fate. A sudden turn can come, a road appear. A greater mind may see a greater truth. A greater mind may see a greater truth, or we may find when all the rest has failed. What we are going to find then? Hid in ourselves the key of perfect change." That transformation, that perfection where we are focusing upon, we are traveling and we are inching forward. Of course, we are getting elevated in the process of evolution. That's what the main key of the shut door, that is hid in ourselves the key of perfect change. So that key must be, now it is hid. We have to take it to the fore, it must be revealed, it must come to the front, and it must not be in a hidden state. That is the topic we must know, and of course we are going to discuss and focus upon on this canto, book 2, canto 10. So the kingdoms and godheads of the little mind. Sri Aurobindo in the very initial line quotes, "These two must now be overpassed and left. These two must now be overpassed and left. Then as all must be until the highest is gained. All until the highest is not gained, this must be overpassed and left, in whom the world and self grow true and one. Till that is reached, our journey cannot cease." So it must be a ceaseless journey towards the goal, unless otherwise it is arrived at. This journey will never stop. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes on this topic: "A glory and sweetness of satisfied desire, a glory and sweetness of satisfied desire, tired of the spirit to golden posts of bliss." Beautiful, beautifully it is written by the master we have seen. Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully, like a memory soft as grass and faint as sleep, the beauty and curl receding sank behind, like a sweet song heard fading away upon the long high road to timelessness. Again, we have seen that about the uncertainties we find in the most of the cases, political uncertainties we find, and since around 100 years back, Sri Aurobindo was getting, and she could be able to visualize the uncertainties of the political situation. Sri Aurobindo, many parties they are forming, they are actually illegally, they are joining hands. The hope, the expectation is that to grasp the power. So there is uncertainty. So even during the initial phase when Sri Aurobindo quoted, of course, wrote the Savitri, that time he could also visualize and he could be able to write. "A coalition of uncertainties they are exercised an uneasy government. Coalition of uncertainties exercised an uneasy government on a ground reserved for doubt and regent gaze. A rendezvous of knowledge with ignorance." Rendezvous, the meeting point of knowledge with ignorance. So this is the thing we have seen. Fear has devised the forms of an ignorant life. That's what we have seen, and of course we are going to focus upon now. Sri Aurobindo quotes little bit later. Sri Aurobindo quotes, "An insect crawl preludes our glorious flight. An insect lures our glorious flight. Our human state cradles the future God. Our mortal frailty an immortal force. So now we are going to quote, of course, to describe little bit. We will read the chapter in a brief, because this is the topic. This is the session for Savitri summarization. Above the paradise of little life, immediately recently we have covered this topic, little life. Above the paradise of little life are the realms of the mind, tranquil and still. Above the paradise of the little life of the life are the realms of mind. This realm of mind is tranquil and still. First, Ashwapati finds the silver grey expanse parting the flow of life from poise of thought. Beautifully, we can read it again, we can just analyze it again. Ashwapati finds a silver grey expanse parting the flow of life, that silver grey expanse parting the flow of life from the poise of thought, is meeting ground of knowledge with ignorance. A meeting ground of knowledge with ignorance. Immediately we have seen, we have read it. At the lower end, there is a dim, self-realized mind ever turned outward. Just from, we will start from the beginning, from the lower end. At the lower end, there is a small range, small range mind ever turned upward. The material mind. Again, this mind, we can find this is the material mind. Again, we have seen this above this material mind, we have seen the this mind is everything in terms of the matter, and lives from moment up to moment in the search of knowledge. Already we have seen knowledge with ignorance, that is occurred. We have quoted this mind sees everything in terms of the matter, and lives from moment to moment in its search for knowledge. That is the great criteria. Above this belt, he steps into the realm of the early sun. Again, another above this, from the material mind, he actually escapes, he gets elevated, climbs up to the realm of the early sun, out of whose rays my mind has come to be formed. Early sun, out of whose rays mind has come to be formed. Here an intelligence is at the work. Here an intelligence is at work, that to be taken care. Here intelligence, already thought and all, intelligence is at work, meditating by between supermind above and the nescience below. That is a good thing. On the top there is supermind, on the below at the lower zenith, lower nadir, at the lowest point there is nescience in the below, and this intelligence is actually mediating between the supermind above and the nescience below, again linking the gross matter in and its forms of its consciousness looming above. So actually linking of the gross matter with the supreme consciousness looming above. Actually this is a great thing. It enables matter to think. Because it is connecting consciousness with matter, supermind with in nescience. This intelligence is working. So in its field is still in ignorance. From ignorance it is actually trying to move up, climb up. Knowledge is not yet in the grasp. You can find ignorance, but knowledge yet to come. The reasoning intelligence, again during the course, the reasoning ignorance with instrument of a logic. In logic is the course of the truth. So there is a barrier, and this intellect actually with the instrument of logic cuts of the truth into bits and erects the wholly artificial pattern of the universe. Because from the truth, this logic cuts everything from the truth, so artificial pattern of the universe is erected. However, invasion of light again from above. In this scenario, actually there is invasion of light from above in the form of intuition, inspirations, myths, three things. Now it is caught up from the truth. Intelligence is working, still ignorance, knowledge yet to come. At this point of time, we can find invasion from the top, from above. actually in the form of number one is intuition, number two inspiration, number three is myths. Then actually effect a breakthrough and the living knowledge begins to take shape and lead the earth around. So we have seen it is still in ignorance. When there is invasion from of light from above, there is in the form of three forms: intuition, inspiration, and the myths. That is actually with that it makes a breakthrough, and with this breakthrough living knowledge takes shape and leads the earth upward. That is a great thing, that great point of discussion. Again, what happens here are the fast forward moment. Again, here are the fast forward moment of the mind, searching for knowledge, looking for fresh discoveries. This is the fast moment, and with the forward moment of the mind, it is going to fast forward moment of the mind, searching for knowledge, looking for fresh discoveries. These are the three great things being done. His first task is to teach ignorance to be awake to the knowledge. The first condition and the first term what it is going to do is to awake knowledge, awake to teach the knowledge, sorry, to teach ignorance, to learn, to awake to knowledge within. But the mind itself must first learn to recognize. Teach the ignorance to awake to knowledge. For that, mind must be in a fast position to learn to recognize the truth beyond many transient truths glimpsed by it. Yes, how many half truths are there, but mind must know, mind must be able to understand the real truth. The mind has indeed worked though cautiously for the growth of light of knowledge. Mind is working. Still, then it is a half-hearted attempt, initial beginning. And the caught a passage from the night of inconscience towards the light of omniscience. It is working from what it has started working for the growth of of knowledge, and has caught a passage of from the night of inconscience towards the light of omniscience. Night of inconscience to the light of omniscience, a passage is got, and that has been prepared by the mind. It is a great step. Mind is elevating up. So it is the topic. It is actually a little mind. Again, there are three guardians of the mind power. One is physical mind, the life or desire mind, and of course we can find three reasoning mind. Three minds we feel here. Mind cutting a passage, trying to climb up. It is through night of inconscience towards the light of omniscience. Here we can find three varieties of mind on our way. One is physical mind, second is little or desire mind, third is actually a reasoning mind. Of these, the first is the mechanical mind. So this physical mind, sometimes and most of the time it is known as the mechanical mind, for exposure to habitual groups of the movement, inert, unchanging, repetitive, limited to the physical forms and the sense. Number one, this is actually the characteristic of the physical mind, which is known as the mechanical mind. Ever exposed to the habitual groups of the movement, it is inert, unchanging, repetitive, limited to the physical forms and the senses. This has its role in the creation. What its role? Actually, we'll know the role to fix things in time, in this type. All movement, all new influx is arrested and reduced by the power, this power to its own established pattern. So this is the characteristic of the physical mind or in the mechanical mind, what we say. Next comes number two, that is your desire mind. You know that the mind that desires. Second category, already we are going to take upon the discussion on physical mind, desire mind, and finally we are going for the another mind, that is actually a reasoning mind. So desire mind, it is coming on the second part. In the next part, it is coming the desire mind, ever on move, characteristic, ever on move. It is claiming everything as food for the hunger. So that is the function of the desire mind. Everything, almost desire is possessing. Of course, desire is taking a vital role there. desire mind ever in move, claiming everything for food of its hunger, unimaginative, adventurous, impassive. It is never satisfied. That is the criteria. Never satisfied, never content with what is gained. That is another thing, another problem with this one. And it darts forth and in force and often catches at the calm intelligence would miss. Instinct and intuition play good part in its action. Instinct and intuition, it is coming. Then the last part, third mind, we see the last and the greatest of these powers is the reason. So this mind is actually reasoning mind. She looks upon the universe as the object to be studied and analyzed piece by piece. And already we know this is the reason. Always it asks for reason. What is the reason behind it? So she looks upon the universe as the object to be studied and analyzed. Reason. What is the reason behind it? To be studied and analyzed piece by piece, and seek to impose the logical order on it, because it is reason, logical order will be there and a system on everything. That is the major problem. On it imposes logical order and a system on all. She finds out the process of nature and tries to remove the ignorance and harmonious money by all thought. She finds out the process of nature and tries to remove ignorance and harmonize all the thought, because it is so called by the name we can know and we can understand. This is the reasoning mind. Anyway, we will try to quote few lines from Sri Aurobindo's original writings. It is a very interesting topic, really. Sri Aurobindo quotes here. A covert steer in the quotes here beautifully in his our human state cradles the future God. Our motor frailty and immortal force. Again, steer in the course goes forward and analyzes the things in his own terms. That supramental words we can read a couple of lines. Steer in the course here beautifully by his own knowledge. Here to labor and to dream and to new create, to feel beauty's touch and know the world and self, the golden child began to think and see. No, this is its morning rays illume our twilight's eyes. Its young formations move the mind of earth to labor and to dream and new create, to feel beauty's touch and know the world and self. The golden child began to think and feel. Further, we can see to teach the ignorance is her difficult task or charge. To teach the ignorance, an arduous pastimes passionately pursues. To teach the ignorance is her difficult charge. Then again, during the course, there's a glorious line we can see. Earth all perceives through doubtful images, all she conceives in hazardous jets of sight. Small lights kindled by touches of the groping thought. Again, we are going forward. Soon we have seen a candidate for a higher sojournity, a passage she cut through from night to light. Just we are knowing that passage was cut from night to light and searched for an ungrasped omniscience. About the three states we have seen, the three types of mind we have seen, we have analyzed. That is no more. Actually, we are trying to cross forward. These three types of mind we have already: mechanical mind. Then we have come for that desire mind, and finally we came to the reasoning mind. We have seen. Anyway, Sri Aurobindo quotes here: "In a new trace, the world resumes its role. In a new dress, the world resumes its role. The energy acts, the stable is its seal. On Subas' best is stayed the enormous dance." Again, we are going forward and see a little bit. Little forward, we see the glorious lines, of course, here. An eager spring to seize and to possess, unguided by reason or the singing soul, was its fast natural motion and its last. It squandered life's force to achieve the impossible. Against Aurobindo, attempt, one chance made true warranted all the rest. Attempt, not victory, was the charm of life. We will try, we will take part. Attempt, not victory, was the charm of life. An uncertain winner of uncertain stakes, instinct Instinct its dam and the life mind its sire. It ran its race and came fast and last. So only attempt, not victory, was the charm of life. It threw the lightning's fork and hid the unseen. It saw in the dark. It threw the lightning's spark and hid the unseen. It saw in the dark and vaguely blinked in the light. Ignorance was its field, the unknown its prize. Like this, the things were going on. We will move little forward. Then we'll see the next phase of discussion in a interesting manner. Of course, we'll find what really are they are still being hidden after quoting few lines, and of course we are going forward, and later we'll try come forward to quote the remaining very golden lines that is lined by Sri Aurobindo in this chapter. Much that is not on the surface escapes reason. All about the reason, everything is coming under its category. It is actually analyzing. She conceptualizes, conceptualizes what she sees and weeps. Again, waves of abstract thought in her attempt to explain things. Again, initially, what it does, she sees and weeps the waves of the abstract thought in her attempt to explain. Again, indeed, she releases herself from the trap of the sense, but she can't break out the walls. Tries to escape, but yet to be free or break the walls of limited mind. Still, it is now confined. It is actually in the boundaries, limited by the boundaries, walls of the limiting mind. Her constructed knowledge, again, constructed knowledge is shadowed by doubt. At some time or other, questioned and breaks down. That is what the characteristic we can sometimes is what happens. Her constructed knowledge that is constructed, is shadowed by doubt again. And at some time or other, the questions other is questioned and breaks down. There is no finality of her knowledge. So some construction is there, again question is coming, and there is a breakthrough, no finality of arriving at the knowledge, and she can't perceive the whole truth in the same time. She can't perceive the whole truth at the same time. Her labors are inconclusive. What labors she is doing till now are inconclusive. She can't support with care and with equal care demolish the same. She can't support with care and with equal care demonish the same, because she doubts whatever she has done. It is doubtful, confusing, and she can't come reach at the conclusion. Already we have seen here fast reading of the material universe is that it is working in the huge self-opening machinery and unconscious and mechanical life, and of course consciousness. Such are they, are the products of the action, spirit, mystic feelings, etc. Beautiful thing. We will try to analyze it again. Her fast readings of the material universe, where we stay upon. Her fast reading of the material universe is that it is the working of a huge self-operating machinery. When it is reading the material universe, that is the finding is that it's working of a huge self-operating machinery, unconscious, mechanical. This construction we can found that creation. This is the ultimately the analysis. Consciousness again, mechanical life and consciousness, mechanical consciousness, such they are, is the products of the action. Then say there comes actually spirit and mystic feelings. All are fancies, matter is the sole reality. So he feels matter is the sole reality. It is doing nothing has to play, even if that mystic feelings are there, spirit is there, but the finding is there, final analysis is there. Matter is the sole reality again. But the thoughts break down at the fast touch of the unseen. Flashes from the unknown startle this mind and open her eyes to the glimpses of other realities. because she can't stay confined with the limitations what she really is actually glimpsing and analyzing and finalizing. Something will be there. Thought breaks down at the first touch of the unseen. First touch of the with the first touch of the unseen, thought breaks down. Flashes from the unknown startle this mind. Flashes of the unknown startles the mind and opens the eyes to the glimpses of the other realities. You can't be confined. You can't be, of course, be narrow. Something is there. You have to come forward and see. The ground beneath her is pulled out. All reveals itself to be the movement of the force, a class, a stripe, a dance of Kali. Sometimes we can find the dance of Kali. Everything is that feeling is that all reveals itself to be the movements of a force. It is not her something of her own, but thing is that all reveals itself to be the movement of a force, a class, and a stripe. Of course, the dance of Kali, because we know there is a change. Mind is doing, and the mind is doing something like this. So region wonders its force in the final certitude, and the region wonders it if the force is the final certitude, and she seeks to grasp at this power. This power, this force, actually, their region wonders, and of course, organize all life into an order, cut out all things into the standardized perfection. There is actually, because there is something certainty what it was doing previously with the touch of this thought mind, or with the touch of this unseen flashes coming from unknown. It is actually its idea is changing frequently, and it is coming towards the perfected side, standardized perfection. But the elaborate construction of region are offset by the flash of heavings of knowledge. Still, it is actually, but the elaborate construction of sub-region, this region, are offset by flash heavings of the knowledge from within, and now new prospects come up, lurking up of the earth and the heaven. So things are coming. This force is coming from within, from above, and linking the earth and the heaven, life and the spirit, finity and the infinity. So these connection, the elaborate construction of the region are offset. What the region, the analysis, the rationality is there. Actually, it is offset by the fresh heavings of the knowledge from within. Knowledge from within, and the new prospects open up. New prospects open up. With that, actually, what happens? Linking of earth and heaven, and of course, then life and spirit, the finity and the infinity. So these connections are there, their linkage is there. Again, we are pushing forward. Awakened region again is aware of the greater reality behind the surface of things, beyond the stretchings of the conceptual logic. That you see, something is felt, it is done. Whatever we are taking to the for granted is in the final. Something is existing, something greater, something luminous is existing beyond the thought and mind pattern. It is actually being analyzed by the awakening region. Awakened region when it is awakened, it actually finds unaware of the greater reality beyond the surface of things, beyond the stretchings of the conceptual life. There is a feeling that something is there, something existing, it is beyond the reachability of the mind and all. She is aware of that that her best is only a half knowledge. That's why that time she is able to know and analyze whatever she has glimpsed till now. It is only a half knowledge, nothing full finality in it. Again, region is not the creator. Beautifully stated in the quotes. Region is not the creator, nor region capable of seeing the whole truth. Only already we have seen it is a half knowledge and a half truth. So what region is occupied with is only the outer robe form, not the real body of the truth. Already we know what it has perceived, it has analyzed, and it has done only the outer robe or form, not the real body of the truth. She cuts up the indivisible. Her knowings are only the husks of the grains of knowledge that wait within. So it is only already we have known this is only half truth, half discussion, half light, everything is like this. Announcer of the greater truth, agents of the complete knowledge, arrive time and again. on inspirations and intuitions that are the harbingers of the factor gnosis. So this have truth, this reasoning mind. Already we have discussed three types of mind, like physical mind, desire mind, and the reasoning mind. We have discussed the characteristics and all. So after this reasoning mind, reason feels it is what it is reasoning and what it is analyzing only a half truth. So what happens? Announcers of the greater truth, number one, agents of the complete knowledge arrive time and again. So arrive time again and again. Inspirations and of course intuitions that are harbingers of the vaster gnosis. Again, two things are there. One is inspirations and second is intuitions. Thus, they are coming forward and actually they are feeling something is there, and the reasoning mind is actually these capable of understanding. So, we are going to read little bit from Sri Aurobindo's original writings. Here in the course, there comes no breaking of the walls of mind. There lives no rending flash of absolute power. There dawns no light of heavenly certitude. A million faces wears her knowledge here, and every face is turbaned with a doubt. All now is questioned, all reduced to none. Not questioning, coming, this confusion already we have discussed. Again, her thought is an endless march without a goal. There is no summit on which she can stand and see in a single glance the infinity's whole. Half truth, partiality, there is no single ground glance, single ground on summit on which she can stand and analyze the things. Again, Sri Aurobindo quotes beautifully. Here, absolute her judgment seat seems, but none is sure. Time cancels all our verdicts with appeal. That is the contrariety. That is the enigma. Whatever he finds, everything is quite correct. Then time cancels all her verdicts in appeal. Although like sunbeams to our glow our mind, her knowledge feigns to fall from the clear heaven. Its rays are a lantern's luster in the night. Simply very small. We have taken it is a like a whole thing. Again, here in the quotes, our soul or spirit we have now no need. The mystic lore, sorry, here in the quotes, our thoughts are part of the immense machine and all we were discussing. Our thoughts are parts of the immense machine. Our ponderings but a freak of matter's law. The mystic lore was a fancy but a or a blind. Of soul or spirit we have no need. Matter is the admirable reality, the patent unescapable miracle, the hard truth of things, simple eternal soul. Against your in the process forward, matter was an incident in time, being's flow, law but a clockwork habit of blind force. Ideals, ethics, systems had no base, or soon collapsed or without sanction lived. All grew a chaos, a heap, and a class and a strife. Again, we are going forward towards the greater part. Already we have discussed a touch can alter the fixed front of life. Fate, sorry. A touch can alter the fixed front of fate. A sudden turn can come, a road appear, greater mind may see a greater life, or we may find when all the rest has felt what? Hid in ourselves the perfect, the key of perfect change. Again, art's consciousness may marry with the sun. There is a beautiful collateral and Sri Aurobindo's assumption and assurance. Earth's consciousness may marry with the sun. Our mortal life ride on the spirit's wings. Our finite thoughts commune with the infinity. Against during the course, desire is a child heart's cry, crying for bliss. Just now we were interested in desire, mind, and all. So, still in the quotes, desire is a child heart's cry, crying for bliss. Our region only a toys artificer, a rule maker in a strange stumbling game. So like this it is described. Say then towards the latter part of the discussion, our day the face must one day the face must burn out through the mask. Our ignorance is wisdom's chrysalis. Our ignorance is wisdom's chrysalis. Our error waits new knowledge on its way. Its darkness is a blackened knot of night. Thought dances hand in hand with designs on the grey road that winds towards the sun. Again, during the course, a fire shall come out of the infinitudes. A fire shall come out of the infinitudes. It is a certitude, not a hope. A fire shall come out of the infinitudes. A greater gnosis shall regard the world, crossing out of some far omniscience on lustrous seas from the still apt alone, to illumine the deep heart of still self and things. A timeless knowledge it shall bring to mind, its aim to life, to ignorance, its close. And it is the time, of course, we are proceeding fast, very fast towards the concluding part. Above these three spheres, we have seen three spheres. Above these three spheres stands two more powers of the mind. Again, the live thought, which breaks down the little walls built by the three smaller powers, and the source wide, then of course, and the far mapping vistas beyond the mortal ranges of the laboring mind and the pure thought mind. So, we have seen the laboring mind and the pure thought mind, the luminous in its transcendent status, impassibly surveying the cosmic act. So these the three stages, three spheres we have already we have discussed. Above these three spheres studied two more powers, stand two more powers. One, life thought, which breaks down the little walls built by the smaller powers, and shore wide breaks up and source wide, and the far mapping vistas beyond the normal ranges of the laboring mind, and the pure thought mind, another pure thought mind, luminous in its transcendent luminous pure thought mind, luminous in its transcendent status, impassibly surveying the cosmic work. So above these three spheres, finally we can find that another two description of life thought actually through no, number one is laboring mind and number two is actually pure thought mind. That's what we see. Anyway, it is a great description, great term. We have discussed and we have known the lacuna and all three steps of mind, where the characteristics are there. What is the real drawback with the reasoning mind, where it fails, and the power it is emerging from within and from above. There is a linkage between earth and heaven, finite and infinity, like this. Anyway, and to conclude, we'll try to conclude with these beautiful lines from Sri Aurobindo. Here in the course, two sun-gazed diamonds witnessing all that is, already we have seen. A pure thought mind surveyed the cosmic act. Archangel of a white transcending realm, it saw the world from solitary heights, luminous in a remote and empty air. So, it saw the world from solitary heights, luminous in a remote and empty air. That's what is heard and that's what is listened. So, this is a beautiful topic, glorious discussion by the master. We are inching forwards towards supramentalization. Step by step, we are crossing over towards a great end. This is really interesting, really charming. Of course, this is really elevating, and of course, and finally, it is bringing a big hope upon us. So, step by step, we are crossing and covering the little mind, and later on, we will step forwards towards the greatness. So, it is time to stop here, and next phase we'll find later. Bande Matram.